All right. And we are back. We took our time, but we are back. We got Mr. Motherfucking Allan at the house.
Yo.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
So Allan, you can first introduce yourself shortly to the world who doesn't know you.
Wow.
And cheers.
Cheers. That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, my name is Allan Schlesinger. Born in Chile, from Chilean parents with immigrant backgrounds. Raised mostly abroad. And living a life that's interesting.
Yeah. What would you say is the most interesting thing about your life at the moment?
I think maybe like where I'm at.
All right.
You know, just I always think to myself like, what the fuck am I doing in Helsinki, Finland, or Espoo? Like,
yeah, especially in this weather.
Yeah, especially in this weather. So that is interesting. Like, how did I find myself here?
Yeah. You started at Chile. I think it's a little bit different than Finland.
Yeah.
Never actually been to South America, and I definitely would want to go there sometimes. And Chile, Argentina, Brazil, all these kind of places, especially like, of course, Brazil, because the Brazilian jiu-jitsu is from there, or like originally, or there's debates like did it start in a way or originally in Japan, but whatever. But yeah, it would be nice to be there. So what would you say is the best things about Chile and about your childhood there? What was it growing up?
I had an interesting childhood, I would say. I think so. The story goes that my father was struggling to get decent work, and he already had he was married to my mother and they already had my brother, and he was struggling. And then, like when I was born, he was able to get a second job, and then from there he started to build like his wealth or whatever, his career. So for me, since I was born, it's been like I've had a good childhood, you know, like we're not like super rich, we're not poor, we're like right in the middle. And growing up there, like it's fucking, it was nice. We had like mountains, we had the sea, we went to each. Nice family life. Yeah. Like good childhood.
Yeah.
How
would you think it's how do you think it's different from, let's say, of course you can only guess maybe, but like compared to people you have met abroad, especially let's say here in Finland, how would you say it's different from a typical Finnish childhood, if you even have an idea what that is maybe like, or I don't know what that's like maybe for most people, but
what was that for you?
It wasn't nice. Of course there's the good and the bad. There was both, sometimes maybe a little bit more than the other, but all in all I think it's decent, nothing bad. I had a lot of opportunities to especially do a lot of sports and everything, which was the thing that I'm actually really grateful for. And yeah, it's been ups and downs, but I think especially where we're at now as a family, I'm very happy that everything's going really well, at least at the moment. So that's nice. I don't know if that answered your question, but
yeah, it did answer. Yeah. You know, like when I've had this question in the past, I always think like, how to paint the the picture that I have in my head about my childhood, and one of them that always comes up is we used to live in Santiago, close to the mountains. And there was like a group of houses there, so we were on this like side street filled with houses, so it was like our neighborhood there. And I had friends in the neighborhood, and we used to go out and play on the street, like doing whatever, or go to each other's houses. And like the picture is, in front of the houses there were fences, like you could see through. They were like that far apart from each other, like the poles. So we used to play football in front of them. in front of them, yeah. So like one kid would stand in front of the fence to be a goalie, and then we would do like penalties and shit. That for me, and the fences being brown for some reason, that for me is like, that describes my childhood a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah,
that brings back some memories of me and my brother and some kids from the neighborhood, like playing kind of like could you say it's field hockey, but well, with a floor ball, but like other than that, like basically it's hockey. Because we both played hockey and like when we were young, and we used to do that a lot on the yard and whatever. But sometimes, like, yeah, of course the ball would hit I think, or we played with a tennis ball maybe or something like that, depended on, especially on winners, because the fucking floorball wouldn't handle it on the winners. So it was like doing a lot of playing those kind of things. And we played some football also from time to time, and just doing other kind of dumb shit. So so I can see that's still kind of very similar, of course, and I don't think there is like this massive difference, but it's nice.
Like that memory is very like universal in a sense for a lot of kids.
Well, I don't think, maybe nowadays it seems like sad that I feel a lot of younger generation kids, they are just fucking watching their phones and iPads and whatever, and not enjoying the things outside. Because I feel like I'm kind of lucky that I at least had some childhood before the internet. So that's a good thing that we used to go like from run to house and would you come out and play and all these things. So you didn't just call your friend even though he was like one house away, like, hey, what you doing? You just fucking went to their house.
Is he home?
And
the best was when your friend was home, but he was like grounded or some shit. He's home, but he can't play.
He can't come.
What the fuck did he do? I want to know.
She my homie. But you said also that you were raised abroad mostly, so I know you have traveled a lot, like all around the world, and like, what was it like then moving out of Chile and being raised abroad, and what was the timeline, and where did you go, and what kind of things did you see?
Wow. Fuck. That's a lot. So we left Chile when I always say between 11 or 12. So I can't, like, I don't know, 96 maybe.
Yeah, I was 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Shit. Are you that much younger than me?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
How old are you?
29, turning 30 at February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, hold on. Wait. Because we need to, I don't know. Okay, we have to make this a little bit personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you want this on the tape, but.
Yeah, sure.
Man, you're 29, almost 30.
Yes.
And you get this opportunity to go and live abroad for life. Not for life, sorry, for love.
Yeah.
Maybe for life. I don't know. But for love. And that shit doesn't come around often.
Yeah.
It's a fucking beautiful thing, man. And I know that you know this, but I'm just telling you anyway. Because even if there's a small speck of doubt, should I go, should I not go? No, man. Fucking go.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. Fuck, I'm happy for you.
Nice.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Take a sip of that nice German beer. This is good.
Yeah. So 90. Yeah. Okay.
So 96 out of Chile.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And then, so actually, there's something even before that, because we're from Santiago, and then maybe it must have been like in 94, we went to the south of Chile, like 8 hours south of Santiago, to a town called Los Angeles. Like LA.
Yeah.
Small country town. So that was maybe the first move that we ever did before even getting out of Chile. So that was the first real move. Then, so forward to 96, we went from Chile to Hungary. And
that must have been a change. Quite a change.
Yeah. Fuck. It was, man, we had been abroad before, but I didn't even remember what that was like. And then we were all of a sudden in Europe. In Europe, man. Like, I don't know how much English my mother spoke. Maybe she did. My father, I guess to some degree, I mean, he must have. My brother and I, 0. We were in a French school in Chile. We didn't fucking learn English. So my brother, I already knew a little bit. He's 3 years older than me. So he had already been like just words here and there. But so we land in Hungary and we stay in a fucking hotel for the next like 3 or 4 months. Because my father's company, Shell, hadn't found him a house in time. So the whole family, we spent 3 or 4 months in a hotel.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, it sounds like luxury, but it's a fucking hell.
Yeah, it sounds like it's maybe not as nice when you stay that long. Yeah.
No, and we're going to school. So we get into this international school, and the campus. Tell me if I'm saying too much detail, because
no.
I'm just
it's good. It's good.
And the campus there in Budapest, was an ex-military base.
Oh.
So it was like in the forest. Random. So we were there going to school, and I remember being sat down. I didn't know any English whatsoever. And I remember being sat down in my class, and all the kids were out in recess. So I was the only kid there sitting. Imagine, man. You're like, again, I don't know if it's 10 or 11, somewhere there, sitting in a classroom where you know nobody,
Mm.
you don't know the language, and you don't know how the fuck you got there. Like, you're a transplant.
Yeah.
So the bell rings and all the kids come in and they're all like, oh, who the fuck is this one? And I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
And then teacher walks in and it's like, blah, 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 Allan. And then all the kids are like, oh, they clap or whatever. Yeah. And from there, like, English as a second language, that was where I learned. Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of a sink or swim kind of situation in a way. Like, you gotta adapt or just fall behind, because like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, you got no choice.
Yeah.
No choice. Yeah. So being picked up at a hotel and then being dropped off at the school, and then on the way back, the same thing. Weird. Weird.
What would you say? Well, of course, that's a big challenge, but what was the hardest part about it for you then, to actually get through those challenges of being in a foreign country and not learning the language? Because in a way, of course, it wasn't your choice even. So you didn't do it like willingly in that sense.
Yeah.
But what would you say is were your biggest challenges in just having to adapt in such a radical different environment?
What were the challenges of that?
Yeah, your biggest challenges on that.
Well, first of all, the language barrier.
Of course.
At least at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the time that also helped me to form some friends. Because luckily, like, after the hotel, we went to this house in a compound. And there were lots of kids, foreign kids in that compound that went to my school. And they were from different countries. So they were all on the same boat. So we like learned together.
Yeah, it's your own community.
Yeah, of small kids.
Yeah.
I imagine that. And that's like, okay, so the language barrier, and then the fucking, I don't know if it's a challenge, but like dealing with like multicultural environment. Where you start to learn that, certain stereotypes are true and others are just make no fucking sense. Bullshit. And then you have to like, so that a kid that comes from this country might have this like way of thinking or and so when you don't know, sometimes it's a bit of a culture clash. It's not so much of like a give and take. It's more like, I don't know, fuck off. Like, there's no chance of friendship,
Yeah, I think it's kind of would it be kind of like, in a way, fear of other, or I think that's where it kind of originates from, but it's just, younger people are more often a little bit more insecure in general, and especially thrown into situations that make them uncomfortable, and then you have to kind of either step up to yourself and don't be a pussy, or all these kinds of you have to maybe try to act hard so that you wouldn't get picked on by the bullies and whatever and all these things. So kind of like when you go to when you go, it's like saying that I would be going, or everybody would be going. Like when you would go to jail, you would have to be like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, and I don't fuck with you, but don't fucking fuck with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like living that exact thing every day until I learned like who's who and how and what's what and why do South Africans have like an amazing like, well, I thought funny at the time. And then it just became like such a beautiful accent. So like, why do they have that accent? You know, like learn a little bit about South Africa and then like, why does this kid do this and look like that? Or, okay, he's from there. Let's learn a little bit. And like that fucking constantly, man. Wow. Like it really like expands your mind, but it's also a challenge because there's like, sometimes there's like stupid differences between cultures. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like there would be there would have been some sort of like let's say lack of a unified vision or something like that. But I think, at least from my experience, from what I've been traveling like around the world that I have, I would say people are pretty much more or less the same everywhere. And we have the very similar things that we do. And of course, there are always cultural differences, but we're basically all the same. And I think in most cases, let's say we just all want kind of the same things, like actually like have some meaning in their life, have a good, something that gives you kind of respect and some love and everything, and just fucking live a nice life. So I think that's pretty much universal, I would say, and that makes us way more similar than different, I would say. Then, but there is still this weird thing that I have also seen even in Finland. I think when I was young, even though just going out of town, people were like, "You're not from around here," like fucking basically.
Wow.
That was like pretty fucking weird, I would say that. But I think that was also way more with the younger kids. I'm not sure if the older people did it, but especially the kids, like they right away like, "You're not from around here," fucking so. But I heard also that the same was in Russia, basically. And even though it was so crazy at the there, that at least in the place that I got told about, that basically you went one block away, like, "You're not from this block, you're from that block, aren't you, or that block?" And then like, even though you are basically the same people living in the same culture, and you still are like, "What the fuck, you're so different," and like right away like all acting like this is some sort of a piss contest and which one is the bigger one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's strange.
It's that's a good way to put it. That's definitely a good way to frame it. It is strange. Yeah, and it's funny that like even kids can know these small cultural differences. Like they're like bred to dislike certain differences. Like,
what do you mean?
I don't know, man. Like countries that, okay, like Chile and Argentina, right? So the cultures are very similar, if not the same. But as a kid, it's always like, you know, you're born in Chile, it's like, you know, fuck Argentinians.
Yeah.
And then you're born in Argentina, and they're like, fuck Chileans. In fact, fuck everybody.
Well, yeah.
And so that already happens when you're a kid. You know, and then someone meets you on the street. Like, okay, they meet me, and I'm like, and I say those things, you know? They're like, "Oh, you're from Chile?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from Chile." They're like, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were from Argentina. Yeah, fuck Argentina. But I don't mean it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just like ingrained.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so that's why it was like. Even I thought like first like because like other people had other guesses like when you came to our workplace and where he's from. I was like, he's from South America somewhere, but maybe Argentina or something. They're like, what made you say Argentina?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck Argentina.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
exactly. I would have maybe if you would have told that to my face, I walk up to you and I just fucking twist your nipples, man. Take that back, you know.
Yeah, that is a really effective street fighting technique.
Yeah, just fucking get those nips.
So
I'm kidding. Much love to every Argentinian, if anybody hears that,
especially Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird because I just remember it's funny when I think about it now, especially because right away in my mind comes one Mr. Swedish guy that I'm friends with. Because like I remember when I was really young, and people were maybe also losing in the hockey world championships always to Sweden also had something to do with it, but everybody was really like fuck Sweden.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, like fuck Sweden. Yeah. Fuck all these fucking people.
Yeah, when you just wait when you move to Germany.
Yeah.
Are you Swedish? Oh, you're gonna have to knock them out.
Yeah, like right away, like fuck
just
no.
Put them on one of those chokes you were saying, anaconda choke or whatever.
Yeah.
Just fucking like, fuck you. What did you call me?
Yeah.
You're
fucking talking to me.
Yeah. But at the end, you don't mean it, man. When you meet a Swede, you're not like, fuck you, Sweden. You're just like, it's a Swede.
Yeah. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care. Of course, like, we have our, what is it in fucking English? Well, I can't remember the exact word at the moment, but we have these pre-thoughts that, okay, they are going to be so different or something, or you have this image of maybe some other kind of people, and then when you actually meet one, they're like, oh, okay, sure, they're just one of the same. So I think that's maybe a really rich thing in your childhood, that you actually saw a lot of different cultures right away. And of course, especially I would say, even though maybe Finland didn't have that much foreigners when I was little, but it's have been growing all the time. But of course, just like seeing movies and TV shows and whatever, of course I've like seen different kind of cultures and people from all around the world, from at least from TV. But of course it's different to know them in person, but still it's like because I think some people could argue that we should just kind of, or how is have the representation of all kinds of people. And well, of course it helps, but it doesn't have to be equal like in all the TV shows and whatever like they're doing at the moment, which seems kind of annoying, to be honest, about a lot of stuff. But it's like I think we all can just come to the conclusion that we're kind of more or less the same. So let's treat the douchebags as douchebags and the good people as good people.
Amen, brother.
Hey, fucking man.
Hey, man, the man has spoken. Let it be. Gospel, he said.
Preach the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Kumbaya.
Yeah. It's like that. Culture. Yeah. Super interesting.
Yeah, what have you, like, how many countries, where other countries have you been? Because I remember like you've been at least Toronto, the pretty latest trip, and
Yeah.
around Europe and whatever. So
Like,
Mr. International.
what are the countries that I've lived in?
The countries you've lived and visited.
Oh, dude.
Way too many.
I can tell you countries I've lived in. So it was. I'll count Chile because I need to.
Of
Chile,
course.
Hungary, UK, United Arab Emirates,
Ooh.
Holland, Slovenia, Portugal, and Finland.
8 countries.
8 countries.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's too much.
Yeah, you have seen the world.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it. A very small part of it.
Yeah, but maybe more than most.
Maybe.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
What are your favorites? And what was the best thing about every place? Like, few best things about all the places and maybe few worst things about all the places. But you don't have to, of course, shit on everything. But
all right. So, well, Chile, obviously, I love, and totally different subject, but kind of gives me like identity crisis.
Mm-mm.
But all right, we can go into that later if we need to. Amazing people, like really lovely. Obviously, great weather, great food, like family, awesome. Downside, corrupt as fuck, dangerous. Well, Santiago at least very polluted. Yeah. Then Hungary. Actually, I can't tell so much about Hungary because I was so young. But lovely city. I had a really amazing experience there. Like culturally was like I'm fucking crazy. So I can't really say pros and cons like that. The UK, I fucking love the UK. Fucking love the UK. They're so extravagant in whatever the fuck they do. And they don't give a shit while they're doing it. It's insane. Especially in London. Fuck. It is a shit show. Honestly, man. Yeah.
Like for examples.
I mean, like, imagine having millions of people crammed in a subway, in the tube, in the metro.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. And you get on that metro, particularly in the summer. And it is the most god-awful thing in some lines. Because have you been to London?
Yeah, I've been to London. I've been to Budapest also, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you know this when you get in the tube. It's like, forget about standing up straight. Like, it's this like cocoon of metal that's propelling you so fucking fast down a tube. All right? And then it gets like muggy and fucking nasty. And it's like millions of people, man. You know, they have, or they had at some point a bed bug pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah. And where can you get bed bugs? From the fucking seats in the tube. So they like crawl up your ass or wherever they sleep. And they travel in your clothes and then boom, you deposit them at home.
Nice.
In the fucking tube, man. So you sit down and you don't know if you're going to get home with bed bugs. Fuck.
Yeah. I wonder how many public transportations have that.
I don't know. Maybe tons, but it just, yeah. Having that amount of people, and I know that there are other big cities, but it's just a madhouse, man. Stuff happening all the time.
Yeah. Like mind the gap.
Yeah.
Mind the gap.
They love telling you what to do there, even though it's obvious.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is.
It's obvious. Like this is a fire door. Do not leave open.
All right.
Exit. Or man, best one I've seen is they had close to the university that I went there. There was like a bridge. And so just near the edge of the bridge, they had a fucking plaque and it said danger, risk of falling.
Well, sometimes you have to make sure that the dumb people maybe have a chance. I don't know.
You gotta be a real fucking idiot. Like to think that if you that if you jump over that, you're gonna be okay. Like
yeah, well, there are the people like there is the, even though it's kind of a urban legend, but it is, I think, actually true from what I've read, that there is like warning labels in some products in America, especially like a microwave, that you shouldn't dry your cat in here because some fucking lady actually put their cat in there and fucking killed it. So that won a lawsuit against them. So there have to be these dummy-proof labels. So
no way.
Yeah. So it's fucking. It's the sad truth of the world, but like, like even though this reminds me of a. Like military usually doesn't recruit anyone like with a IQ under 90, because, or was it 87, something like that. Because they are kind of more of a liability otherwise. So they are usually people who have even hard time reading instructions or something, and that's a sucky life, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but those people do exist, and you have to maybe try to give them a chance by saying, this is dangerous. No, don't put your head into the oven.
Maybe. I mean, there has to be that.
Yeah.
Like some people are just not gifted mentally.
Yeah. And if you do believe in some sort of what is the goal? It's, I know the word, but normal spectrum, you know, normal dividends. So if you believe in that, then if there is a person like Elon Musk and people like this, there has to be the exact opposite. So normal distribution, that's what it's called. Why did I forgot it? But normal distribution, like it should go in most people are kind of like in the middle, and then there are the extremes on the other end. So it means that there are the extremes in the other end.
There's always extremes in the other end. In every end there are extremes.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
So after UK, what did you, by the way, study in the university there?
In London, I did a master's in risk analysis at the King's College, London.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked in risk management?
Management.
Management.
Not as a like risk manager, but I have had jobs that require me to put into practice some of those things.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like. Do I go raw or do I not go raw?
Exactly. Those are the calculated risks, you know.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood that she's got an STD? Very high. Okay, let's fucking do it anyway. I don't give a shit. I want to feel that skin.
Yeah, it's crazy. People are willing to risk it all.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's fucking go, baby.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So after UK, what was next again? And pros and cons.
After UK, Arab Emirates. So specifically in Dubai, we lived in Dubai.
Nice.
Pros. Well, initially the weather, but you quickly get tired of hot and sunny every fucking day. Yeah.
There's a lot of things like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is.
Well,
what it is.
I know, I get it. I get it. But yeah. Please continue.
Yeah, that. Positive also was the fucking food is incredible for some reason. It is very good. Some of the people, like not the I didn't really meet lots of locals. So like the international people that lived there, but particularly the people from the east, like India, Nepal, Pakistan, all these areas, they go there because they're cheap labor. Philippines, maybe some from Malaysia too, but mostly Philippines. Lovely fucking people, man. Really cool. Most of them anyway. Like, yeah. On the downside, at least at the time I was there, those exact same people get treated like shit because they mostly worked in service industry. Construction workers also from those parts of the country, from those other parts, India, Pakistan, whatever. I used to see school bus loads of them. And imagine, like, if you see in those movies and where they show convicts like being transported, that on the fucking highway filled with Indians, Filipinos, whatever, going for construction work. Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They take away their passports so they can't go home.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't pay them. Yeah, they're living in or they used to live in these like containers.
Yeah. Fuck.
You probably heard about that. Like, it was big news some time back. It's fucking true, man.
Shit.
Like, the inequality was probably by far the biggest like shock. Yeah. Crazy, man. And they would get treated like crap, especially by the locals. Man, the locals were fucking ruthless. They treat them like nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's heavy. That's heavy shit.
Yeah, and especially taking people's passports and everything away. That's fucking nasty shit. That's like taking someone else's freedom, basically, totally away from them.
Dude, I used to see like the construction, for some construction workers used to wear like blue overalls and the white hat, construction hat. And they had them working out there in the fucking summer. And okay, European summer, 25 degrees to 35 maybe in some places, ish. Plus minus. Dubai in the fucking summer, 40 to 50, man. Hot.
Yeah, that's fucking hot.
And humid.
Yeah.
Like not like Malaysia humid. For me, Malaysia was very humid. Not like that, but like still, you open the door, your glasses fog up, like that sort of shit.
Shit.
And they had these guys working there outdoors, man. Fucking doing the building stuff. When they had a break, they used to sit under palm trees, you know, just like a bottle of water, and they're just laying there in the shade.
Yeah.
Just taking a nap, man, like trying to survive. Wow.
Yeah, I have worked at least construction. I think the hottest might have been something like 26 or 28, like outside on the summer. Maybe one time a little bit more, but maybe that's kind of the hottest. But even something like 22, it starts to get kind of hot. Yeah, doing it outside and all the day, fucking sweating there, putting shit together.
Yeah.
So
brutal, man.
Yeah, double that, and it's like, oof, oh shit. Yeah, and taking someone else's pay and not paying, like that's that's really fucking with someone else's like freedom and their possessions and whatever. So yeah, that's nasty shit.
That is nasty shit.
No,
fucking crazy. Yeah, so that was a downside.
Well, yeah.
A really big one. I mean, that kind of says it all for me, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the fucking Netherlands, man.
Oh, yeah.
What a country.
Yeah.
What a country.
I've been to Amsterdam and I loved it.
I'm sure you would, yeah. Yeah. What did you see? Or what did you do? Did you go to a whorehouse?
No. Well, we went around all, like, of course, Amsterdam, and just went to some local bars, but like at the time it was almost or we went to see this concert. Actually, that was the main reason we were there. But few of our friends, they got kind of chicken feet to say, and they were like, no, let's just stay here in an apartment and just fucking get. I don't want to go outside. Like, oh, fuck you, man. We're in Amsterdam. Like, we should be going out. So,
yeah.
But then we didn't end up like going out as much, basically almost at all, without or 2 nights. The first night and then the concert night. But yeah, we were there like 4 days maybe. So.
Yeah.
Well, of course, 2 out of 4 days is not that bad in a way, but yeah, you don't have to always drink 5 every fucking day. No, I don't actually do that anymore. That was in the past.
It's not the new you.
No. That was in the past, like going to some festival to drink for 3 days is like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do it as much, but like I have done it some few times, but oof, it's hard.
Well, yeah, it's hard on the body.
Yeah, totally is. Totally
and the mind
is.
too. Like, do you feel like when you drink, you get like you wake up, and your mind feels like a slushy.
Yeah,
it's like you can almost feel it going like from side to side.
No. Yeah, or like usually I didn't get like a massive headache or anything, but a few times it was fucking so horrible. But yeah, it's
3 days. Really? 3 days?
Yeah, that's rough.
You were drinking 3 days.
Yeah, the longest and worst one. It was really fun. It was really fun.
Longest and worst time.
It was really fun, and I would definitely don't like regret the experience at all.
Would you recommend it?
Sure. Sure.
Endorsed, ladies and gentlemen. Do it.
Yes. But yeah, worst one. in that sense was like Ibiza 5 days.
Oof. Oh,
That was bad.
that sounds awful. Did you come back home just pale? Like,
Nah, I was ready to join a religion and just absolve everyone for my sins and carry this weight and
wow.
just purify myself. So, but yeah, that was rough. But actually, it didn't feel as rough because you're just fucking dancing around so much. But so you're doing a lot of cardio.
It's just those carbs just fall away. You just right. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Fuck. 5 days, man.
that's rough.
I'm not even sure I've even done 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I've never really been a big alcohol guy.
No. Well,
But I mean, 5. Like by day 3, I mean, your shit must have been liquid. Like nothing is staying in there.
well, yeah. It's especially usually the last day coming out of there that's the worst one. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm that much of a alcohol guy, but of course, like in my past, in my youth, even let's say there was some alcohol stories, let's say. But I think it all started to quiet down a lot when I started competing in jiu-jitsu. So yeah. Well, when I was playing hockey and everything, and we were playing the games and everything, and we didn't care at all about. Yeah, when martial arts and competing was like, no, I have to fucking clean this shit up.
Yeah, you have to focus a lot more, maybe.
Yeah. You take it maybe also more seriously.
Right, yeah, because some motherfucker can actually kill you.
Yeah, and like break your fucking limbs, and of course, something might happen like playing hockey or whatever. Of course, people get like concussions and even broken bones, and even sometimes people fucking die. I actually saw just some video where a guy was tackled, and then the tackled person kind of flipped up or fell down, so his legs flipped up and his skate got the other guy's fucking neck and he bled out. So that kind of shit kind of can happen in hockey, but usually it's a team sport anyway, so there's other people, but when you go into the match, it's mano y mano, so yeah, high stakes.
High stakes, exactly.
Yeah.
Your belt is at stake, man. Is it in jiu-jitsu or in martial arts in general, is it that so once you graduate a belt, like let's say you went from like purple to brown, so I give you your new belt, like is that valid forever? No, right? You have to like kind of prove it every so often.
Well, in a way, yeah, it is valid forever, but I think it's a representation that you have reached a certain level in this subject. Let's say it's well, you could kind of view it also in a way of like there's bachelors, there's masters, then there's the PhDs and all these things. So you just gain a little bit of better title in that sense. But then there is, of course, the truth that, let's say, there are black belts and then there are black belts. The other ones fucking suck. And the other ones are like, they fucking kill everybody. So it is sometimes like, especially usually it's the people who are kind of like hobbyists versus the people who actually compete and everything. So there is a difference most times, I would say, that I've noticed. But then there are, in some gyms, they are way more kind of hesitant, let's say, to give belts. And then when they actually give belts, it's like thought of really legit. So, yeah. So you don't have to kind of redo any, or there's no tests or whatever. So you just actually gain the new kind of level, let's say.
Cool. So it means that I'm still. So when I was a kid in Santiago, we had like karate lessons or something.
Yeah.
And I think I got like, I might be bullshitting, man, but I remember a yellow belt. I don't know if it was mine or my brother's. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was it. I went to a competition, and some kid threw me. He flipped me, and I landed on my neck.
Oh,
and
shit.
that freaked the fuck out of me. And I was like, nah, that's it. I'm out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see why you don't want to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's like the extreme version of what I went through.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think it's good to do some sort of martial arts. At least try it, because a lot of people have no idea what to do in a physical confrontation. So no, they talk all big, like I see red shit and whatever. My mentality, bro. That's the classic one. But it's no, usually it is actually like, if I would fight with totally untrained person, it's like playing with a child.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a scary thought, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary. So if, because I just pictured myself in that situation.
Yeah.
If I ran at you, if I was like, oh, you motherfucker, man, you probably just like fucking put me in a pretzel, man, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a fucking scary thought.
But I think, well, that's one of the reasons of it, of course, like so you'd actually do the correct things in those high pressure situations.
So what do you do? Maybe you get this question a lot, but so what do you do? What's the first thing that you would do if someone's coming at you, like charging? You already know, like, or you have maybe like more than one option. If he's doing this, I can do that. If he's doing this, I'll do that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it depends on, of course, from how long or from where he's coming from, or like what's the distance meaning. Of course, it's if he's really, really far away, I'm gonna give you a very boring answer and say I'm trying to avoid the situation unless I see it's really necessary to actually stand up for myself and the people maybe around me or that I'm trying to protect, to actually stand up and do it. But as much as possible, I'm trying to avoid, of course, any situation or these physical confrontations, because you never know. They might have a fucking knife or a gun, or you never know, basically. So.
Yeah.
And doing it in weird environments, they're fucking bastard-hating something, and just shit gets nasty. So
yeah, shit gets nasty. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick too.
Yeah. But of course, in a way, I wouldn't want to keep it as a striking distance battle, because the striking is more wild. Of course, most people, I would say, come on with you with a fucking right haymaker. Fucking in Finnish we call it nakkikoppiheijari. But yeah, it means like the hot dog line or the fucking grill line. But in the midnight, the fucking guy that comes like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just punch you for no fucking reason. It's just wasted and shit.
Yes. So you can see the punch.
Yeah.
What I mean.
Yeah.
So most people, I would say, come out with that. So that's really easy to counter and just kind of like try to move out of the way. And of course, in a way, you want to try to avoid punching. But if someone tries to punch you, you could defend yourself and just try to hit him right in the jaw.
Yeah.
But more likely, or more like, I think this has kind of happened actually. So I can say what actually happened.
Yeah.
So that also reminded me the last time it almost maybe happened, but I can tell you both. So first, it was some house party like a long time ago, and I'm not exactly sure why this guy was so mad at me, but he was blaming me for some fucking shit or whatever. But
okay,
that was not the main point. But anyway, he starts to and kind of push me. He first pushes me from the shoulder, and then he kind of pushes me a little bit from my throat. And then I'm like, okay. And the next time he tries to, or goes for the push, I just kind of grabbed. I'm not sure if I grabbed both of just his head or kind of like his hand also, but I think I just snapped his head down. So meaning that I kind of can, it's basic snap down. That's wrestling shit 101.
As in like you just like tripped him forward. So
no. Just kind of meaning that I bring my forearm basically to your neck and just pull your head down. So I pulled his head down to my armpit.
Yeah.
And grabbed his head and just got on like a basic guillotine right away. And he tried to kind of still take me down or punch me and whatever. Then I started to kind of tighten it up a little bit. And I was like, calm the fuck down or something. And so like, then loosen it up a little bit. And I was like, fuck you. I'm going to fuck you. And I was like, okay. So are you going to calm down? He again tried to fucking start to hit me and like and then like loosen it up again, and then like a few of his friends came there like, fucking let him go and whatever. I'm like, I'm letting him go if he stops trying to fucking hit me and everything. And then I kind of just push him off the floor. He tries to grab my foot, but I just kick my leg out and walk away. So that's the optimal outcome of a situation in that sense, that you didn't actually fucking hit them or anything. So there's no that kind of damage, and you didn't actually like harm them that much, or maybe just a teeny tiny bit sore throat or something, but nothing else.
Yeah.
So, and no one got hurt, and yeah. So I would say that is kind of like an optimal thing. Or of course I could just, if I really see him running at me, I would fucking just tackle him to the ground or something like that. Or, I don't know, some sort of snap down to drag him to the floor, or just take him down and just fucking do whatever I want after that.
Manhandle the son of a bitch.
But
yeah.
And then last time also I said, I was also about to say that. Last time that almost happened was one bar, and there was just this guy who was I don't know what his problem was, but he was really overprotective of his like girl, and his girlfriend had a friend, and the friend invited me and some other people there to dance, and the guy was like, what the fuck, who the fuck are you, and get the fuck away. And it's like, we just got invited here. And then he tried to kind of grab me a little bit by here, and then I just kind of brought my hand in and got my hand in his head, kind of like a little bit, and then he was like, and just walked away. And so I'm not sure if he came to his senses or whatever, or wasn't so or was so sure that I wouldn't do anything or something, or maybe he just got like a little feeling of like, because I grabbed him and was like, okay, maybe he has done this before.
Yeah. He looks like he knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah,
Retreat.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, that's, yeah, of course it depends a little bit, but yeah, those are some things that come to mind that has happened and could happen and whatever.
Of course. I think that's an amazing skill. Amazing skill to have.
Yeah.
Great skill set. You never know, exactly as you said. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some stat, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but like every one in four person will get into some sort of a violent situation in their life. I would say it's highly likely that it can be true, thinking about all the around the fucking world. So
yeah.
So you would want to be ready in some ways, even though, of course, you might not be all like ready, never like totally ready for everything. Of course, never, because there's so many multiple variables and situations and whatever. But yeah, but you want to have some maybe sense of security in yourself, let's say. Yeah.
You want to know that you're able to handle certain situations in the right way. And in this case, without either receiving any damage or really giving any as well.
Yeah. And that's the optimal way, of course.
That's great.
That only hurts the ego.
Yeah. It sucks if you put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Like, let's say that guy that was maybe overprotective. Like, I wonder what the fuck he was thinking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I pictured him like quite like a big guy.
Yeah.
Like a bit bigger, taller than you. Like maybe more intimidating. You know, like that sort of villain style person. But like, I'd love to kind of rewind and be like, well, why is he like that? Like, let's go into his life.
Yeah.
You know, like incept that shit. Just go back. What triggered that event to happen? That is interesting stuff. Because maybe he was never a jealous guy, ever. And then some girl or something happened and something broke his heart. And then he became a jealous guy. And then he happened to be at that bar. And you happened to be there. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many things that build up to that moment. It's not just like that happened. Sure, that happened like then, but it wasn't the only thing that led up to that.
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry, I went.
No. That's interesting idea in a way. Of course, I think we are the totalities of our experiences, and we learn to behave in some ways because things we have experienced. And yeah, it could be any kind of way, but of course it never should be at least what's the word again?
Boobies.
Yes, that's titties.
Yes.
You should never use it as an excuse. Yes, excuse to
Excuse. He wasn't far from titties.
titties. Yeah, well,
Excuse.
tomato. So you never should use it as an excuse to do something, because I think that's like coping out and taking an easy way out, not taking responsibility of everything.
Yeah.
But you can understand, of course, that what were the things that made this person this way. But I think there is something that can determine like what is your reaction to it, let's say, because there are people who go through similar things, and the other one ends up being a really bad person, and then the other one ends up being a really good person. And they experience the same environment. So what was the difference that made that happen? So I think at least one of them is a difference in how you view the actual thing.
The actual thing meaning what?
Whatever was like, let's say, a bad thing that might have happened to someone, that like in your case, like you mentioned, the person got dumped or cheated or whatever. So so that made him that way.
Yeah.
But I still should say that you shouldn't use that as an excuse, at least, to abuse someone, or at least you can understand that that was the cause and reason, maybe at least in some ways, to it.
Yeah.
But there is an object of free will, I would say. You can always choose how you kind of choose to react to things, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not, definitely I wouldn't condone what the guy did. Like, it's fucking, it's silly to do that.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I generally don't get people that are aggressive in nature or by nature. I don't know which way to say it, but I just can't figure them out. You know, it's like, why? And okay, obviously stuff happened in the past, but like, why are you so, like, why do you feel the need to be violent against somebody else? For no reason, I mean. Like, if you're a fighter and you do that professionally, cool. Like, there's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
You know? But aside from that, like, it's such a, like, it's such a weird human mentality. You know? Like, I want to harm somebody.
Yeah.
For no reason. What?
Well, I think there is a reason. It's never maybe exactly for no reason, but I know what you mean by no reason.
Yeah.
I think it kind of, or my thought about from it is, I think it comes from insecurity and feeling bad. What I mean by that, a lot of bullies and people who want to make other people seem bad or less than maybe them are always the people who are really insecure about themselves. They always want attention to be somewhere else than them, or unless it's a really good thing, of course, then it's always on them, like, ooh, I'm so fucking good and blah. But then feeling bad can be in that maybe that's just some person, like you said, that might have been through some fucked up situation. They have been in a family that the parents are like drug addicts, like, and they fucking living in total poverty or something like that, and that makes them maybe do some sort of bad things. Then sure, of course, you can kind of get it, but What was my fucking original point? Totally forgot. Well, it happens. It happens. What was the question? So?
Oh man, I almost choked on that water.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. What was the? Well, yeah. I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, because I was kind of felt that I was stretching my thought a little bit, like.
Yeah. No, I think I was making the comment about like I don't understand violence.
Oh yeah, the bad people and yeah.
Yeah, the bad people.
Yeah.
Did you get your thought back?
Yeah. It's
All right, let's do it. Take two.
So that that could lead some other people being bad, like coming up from a really fucked up childhood, and then maybe the only option they see in some ways out is like crime.
Yes.
So in a way, they are victims of their environment in a way, but of course it doesn't help never to think of yourself too much as a victim, because then you give actually the power of that thing to the thing you say it's controlling you basically, or that's the reason for everything.
Yeah.
So that's a thing that holds you over you always then, so you are kind of always loose to it in that sense. But we should actually, I feel like every confident person, or really confident person I know, or everybody who is really good at fighting, let's say, they're the most chill people ever. They're just like fucking
yeah,
because you're constantly actually fighting, or like at least training fighting. So you feel comfortable in your skin and in your kind of maybe capabilities in certain situations, so you don't have to boast yourself to being overly confident or being fucking showing that I can be aggressive to other people. And no, that's fucking dumb shit.
Yeah.
But if you're actually like confident and you don't have to fucking boast that shit. But if you want to go, it's like, sure, we can go.
I'm gonna destroy you, bitch. You're mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will eat through a straw like for fucking months.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Of course I don't know. Well, those ideas sometimes come to your head if someone actually is really trying to piss you off and fucking like, I'll break your fucking legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, maybe let's not do that.
But you know what's funny in that statement is that if you made that, if we were fighting and I didn't know that you could, and I didn't know you, all right, and then I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, what? And you're like, I'll break your legs. And the first thing I'm going to think is like, yeah, right. Like, how's he going to break my legs? You know? So like,
yeah.
You're giving a warning. Like, you're not necessarily saying, dude, I am trained and I'm going to harm you. You're not saying that, but you're actually saying that. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm so ignorant to the fact. It's like, yeah, whatever, man.
Whatever,
come
fucking
at me, bro.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, exactly. And then once the fight starts, like, lo and behold, you fucking break my legs.
It's like, oh shit, he even told me.
Yeah, he even warned me. I'm such an idiot. Oh, sorry, man. It was my bad. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'll pay for your taxi home.
Oh, man. Fuck.
Yeah. The whole martial arts thing, I think it's like the spirit of it is very cool.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. There is a good book about it also. The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. I have it actually there on the shelf. But that's, I think there is also really something raw and immediate in martial arts. It's not like you can bullshit your way, like I am this person or I am that. But okay, let's test, and we see results right away. And it's yeah, you get called out really, really easily if you start to run your fucking mouth too much or something like that. So it's a thing that really makes you humble, I would say, really easily. And you start to learn and actually maybe understand violence in a way. And that's yeah, it's not nice when some real violence is happening. That's not some fucking tickle contest. It's not. You're actually trying to hurt the other person.
Yeah.
Or if you would be fighting for your life or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually trying to kill the other person.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's really scary.
So yeah, that is fucking scary. So yeah, I would like that. This is actually a thought that I was running on my mind today, that if the times would be so that people would be still fighting with swords and whatever, I would be fucking training sword fighting every day to just be like, I want to be as confident as possible. If some motherfucker wants to challenge me with the sword, I will fuck that dude up. So yeah, it's I think it's just good for you, and it develops you in a lot of ways also, because it's also like more philosophical side of things.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself or you're giving your opponent problems constantly, and he's giving you problems, and you're trying to solve the other person's problems, then the other person is solving your problems. And it's a fucking constant battle of like, we're going here, no, and it's like, because there's so many details and moving parts that it's like infinite in depth.
Wow.
So it's
infinite combinations.
Yeah, and then it's just like a battle of how you can solve the problem faster than the other person and make them so you can be the one, because there's, let's say, always the one who's making the initiative, so the other person usually has to react, and that person is always a little bit late if the level is good actually. So you always want to be the person who's making the initiative, because with easier, like if the level is not as high, you can be really kind of even fucking lazy with your defense. You can be just like, nah, and just you just still fucking turn that their offense into your offense like this, and it's like, But when the level gets high, you never want to let the other guy just start everything. And the book that I mentioned also talks a lot about all kinds of initiatives and fighting and understanding life in a lot of ways. So you really can learn a lot about martial arts, and that should develop you as a person and how you can act under stress and actually make your body do fucking amazing things and have the capability of protect the people you love, let's say, because some fucking crazy person could break into your house and kill everybody you love, and what if you could fucking just choke that motherfucker out?
That's a heavy thought. That's a heavy thought.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, then you're gonna... Fuck then, man. I'm gonna need to go to the BJJ.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I really don't want to.
Well,
no.
You can start slow if you... But, yeah, you're more than welcome to come and join us.
Man. Oh, I'm not like... I went to Dubai So I was doing my undergrad in Holland,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to back to Dubai to do an internship for 6 months. And it sucked. It sucked so much ass. It was horrible, agonizing 6 months. But shit, now I forgot the plot. Where was I going with this story? Yeah, and so during the internship, I joined a kickboxing place.
Yeah.
Was it kickboxing? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I stayed there like a good few weeks. So at the end of those weeks, maybe like 3-4 weeks, I don't know, then they introduced the concept of sparring.
Yeah.
Because previously it was like against, like no one was fighting against you.
Yeah.
And so I did like 1 or 2 days of sparring, and I was like, that I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just couldn't. I was just getting beat up all the time. Like I didn't understand. Like, you know, someone punched me like from the side, and instinctively I didn't know how to move or what to possibly do. My mind was in chaos.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just like that, it's not for me. But maybe it's a good tool to have, you know, like you were saying.
Yes, it makes you really understand that you're a beginner at something. And most hard things you do in your life, they will suck at first. Or you will suck at it first. So it's a good thing to kind of go, because that's what it is. That's what it is in the beginning, because of course you're beginning, and especially if you're going against more trained people, that's what will happen. Yeah, and you can notice that with just like even a minor bit of knowledge from someone, and a lot of knowledge of course shows right away, but the difference between those people who train and don't train, like it is day and night. And so that's totally normal. If someone who's more fucking experienced than you, then they can quite easily lay you some traps and kind of hit you in all kind of ways that you never even thought was possible.
Yeah.
And for them, they were in the chaos before, but they are starting to make sense of the chaos, and they can kind of fucking be in the chaos and in the moment, and then to do right decisions then. But that's how it is at first, because your mind is basically overwhelmed with possibilities. You're like, what the fuck should I do? You have some instincts, of course, but like, what is the best way to proceed and what to do, and how do I actually fucking attack? And some people, of course, have better instinct than some other ones. I've noticed that definitely, especially when I have made some clients punch the bag in the work. So
what happened there?
No. Just some of them, their form was, or you know, some people sometimes say that some guys throw the ball like a girl.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So kind of the same looking, something along those lines. So imagine just instead of throwing a ball, punching a bag.
Yeah. Okay.
So
would you? Because when I picture a punching bag, I picture some like a fit person, like a fit guy or girl, like going to punch for the bag. But in that saying, like you're punching the bag like a girl, imagine like this fucking really like tough looking guy, and then all right, punch it.
More or less. Yes, more or less actually.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
What?
But yeah, I like all my clients. No, that wasn't not to this, but like I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I see. I just never thought that actually a male would like do kind of. I was like, okay, oh yeah, sure.
We're at that level. Okay, we need to do some work. upsell twice a week.
yeah. Fuck. Yeah, that brought to mind that I was like, what would you say has your experience been at the? Because you said it's hard to believe where you are, but like, what has your experience been at the PU?
At the PU.
Yeah.
Oh
like
man,
your time in here.
It's been a really eye-opening experience. I think that everybody. I think it's funny because they, at least for me, the hiring process was actually quite quick. And I could have been the worst fucking trainer, and maybe I am. I don't know. And maybe I would have gotten hired, but they don't do that. They seem to get people that are like up on a game, whether you're like, whether, well, what I mean by that is like the skill sets. So like you have you have like martial arts skill sets, then there's someone else who has like bodybuilding skill sets. There's like all these different things that are useful to have in a gym environment. And I didn't know that was a possibility. You know, like I know that like nice people work at gyms. You know, there's not that stereotype of fucking meathead assholes walking. I'm sure there are some gyms like that, but not this one, is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, everyone's fucking cool and people get along and it's easy. Yeah, man, it's actually a really nice environment.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
I would say so too. Do you feel the stress or any stress overwhelmed at all, like with all the training materials and everything and all that stuff? Because I remember when I started, of course, I didn't have much experience from coaching. But yeah, I remember when I started, it was like, there was a fuck ton of stuff that I needed to learn and learn it fast. So, and at first, even though when I came there, I had this feeling that basically that I don't belong here. Not because I didn't in a way see that I belong there, but I saw that I don't belong here because everyone else is so much like more knowledgeable about this stuff than me and knows their shit so much than me, and I don't know basically fucking anything. So yeah, I gotta learn and learn fast and just fucking swim.
yeah.
So yeah, it's it was kind of also really humbling, let's say. And yeah, it was fun in that sense, that because I felt that few people didn't like me as much, let's say.
Oh,
I'm not sure what is the situation, at least now, of course, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say people seem to like me, yeah. But at first I felt like at least some people didn't, and there were some questions maybe.
Oh.
Because I remember Aaron coming into some meeting and talking all kinds of things, and I really felt that most of those comments that were made by some people were about me. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. all right.
Okay.
But
what did you do?
No, nothing. But like, yeah, I was not.
You were the bad boy of PU.
No, I
People
wasn't.
are like, look at that dude. He's a fucking bad boy.
Nah. Well, but let's just say that my skill level wasn't that high yet. So I think that was a thing that needed to be fixed and fixed fast.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, I mean, with the hiring process, it's also a bit hard to tell who's very skilled and who's not very skilled.
Well, yes and no, but I think Aaron knew. At least that's when every people went through Aaron. At least now I don't think they go, but Aaron knew, of course. But he gave me the chance. He was like, "Are you willing to do the work?" I was like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir."
Yeah.
So.
And then what he had you like shadowing everybody and like
all this
staying there at night, cleaning the gym and guarding it, making cookies and breakfast for everybody next day.
So yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Damn, man. I kind of feel the same in a way, but maybe not. Well, in the big picture. And maybe you share this thought. I think everybody's great, no disrespect, but I don't really care so much what they think about me.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a healthy perspective in most cases, but of course, you kind of should think about what other people think about you, but you also shouldn't really think about what other people think about you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and again, it's not like I don't want to be not friendly. I love being friendly. I try to be friendly. But yeah, like if someone doesn't appreciate who I am, then like, just like I would any other place. Yeah. But it seems like here it's like it seems to be like a nice little family going on. Like on the Wednesday mentor sessions, it just feels like a family reunion for some reason.
Yeah.
And even though I may not have spoken in like at length with many people, I feel like, for example, when we're all in that room, it's like feels comfy. Like you could do whatever. No one, someone make a joke. Like it's, like, you fucking loser. Or whatever they might say.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's cool,
Yeah, it is. And it's, I think that's actually a really good thing that we have those. And that's the thing that I also miss many times, that there are really good people in the other gyms, like Punavuori and Keilaniemi. It's like
represent.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I really enjoy like spending time with those people. So it's nice. So yeah, it's good that we at least have the people together sometimes. And yeah, the Christmas party is also coming soon, so that should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what that's like. Like what happens at those Christmas parties, and okay, just by the laughter, okay, probably some crazy shit. You see like everybody let loose and get drunk as fuck.
Well, you can talk about that with some other people.
All
also.
right.
So yeah, that's a story for another time.
Okay. All right. I'll try and find out the scoop.
But yeah.
So it should be good. You're looking forward to it then.
Yeah, it should be fun. But also because it's a week before my competition, I'm like, I should take it really easy actually. But yeah.
Oh shit! Wait, you have another competition?
Yes.
Yeah. When you get it?
16th of December and in Tampere.
Oh, in Tampere.
Yeah.
What is the 16th weekend?
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh shit! Day trip to Tampere.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and then we actually have the Christmas party of the martial arts gym, of course, after that. So yeah.
interesting times for you.
Yeah. And Milady's coming over also to cheer me on.
Respect. Oh, great. Yeah.
The quantum.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny when I wrote it. I was like, hee hee hee.
She appreciated it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. She laughed.
Great. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That was nice. That was an interesting conversation there about the whole quantum computer. And I loved that she was so into it. Well, okay, maybe all the table was like, what? Like, what are you saying? Explain it again. Like, simple.
Yeah. It's oh, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
She's
knowledge,
amazing.
Man. That's why I'm saying, like, she's the quantum, because she's got all that fucking processing power.
Yeah.
To know all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, shout out to Nastia. Baby. Yeah.
What do you call it? Nastia?
Well, Anastasia, Nastia.
Nastia.
Yeah.
So she's a Nastia girl.
Fair.
No. Okay, no comment. No.
Story doesn't tell.
No comment. A gentleman never tells.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
So
I wasn't trying to dig in it.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I can say that, yes, of course, we're adults and we have fun.
Nice. Yeah. You read each other books. That's
yes.
Yeah, that's like mental foreplay.
Yeah. Like actually, there is a
dildo over there.
Oh yeah, that's a massive dildo. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I can see it from here.
Yeah, it's it gets me wild. But actually, it's the poster of her master thesis, basically, because she needed it at one point and now it's there. I even had it on a second on my wall, but then the fucking tape that I used, it didn't hold that well, so.
Okay. Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's, you can read it and try to understand it, and you can, it's, sometimes I don't understand everything, of course, but I understand the concepts, and we have some really interesting conversation actually. So, it's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That must be really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, I don't know how that sounds on the microphone.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
How much time do we have for this, by the way?
As long as we want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a time limit.
No. This is the best parts about you having your own production, let's say, because this is also one thing that I thought about today. Like, fuck getting on some network or some commercials or whatever. Like, of course you can get sponsors and do commercials for them if you actually want to and all these things, but like, why would I want to get on a fucking network when they're gonna censor everything that I do and tell me that you can't do this, you can't do that, and there's this limit and there's that limit and blah, 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 because you can actually produce whatever you fucking want in any way you want. And there's no borders basically to do it. The only thing that works maybe as some sort of a barrier, that it should be at least some way interesting, I would say. Otherwise it doesn't survive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's why people, especially here in Finland, people seem to value way more like getting in some fucking stupid TV show or whatever. Or if your face is in the Seiskalehti, if you know what that is, the fucking local. The rumors and whatever. So that's why the fuck are those people so important? It's like the so-called celebrity status or something like that, and those are the only people who can get on some network and get paid, and but then you almost have to sell your soul, let's say, at least in some ways, when you could just do your own shit. Because I truly think that this is the future of like some sort of media, let's say, because it's free, or like free flow conversation. It can last as long as you want. You can talk about whatever you want. You don't have to do it in any kind of format like that you don't want to, or you can just, you have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. So this, and actually the latest or the current presidential like debates and whatever, or they're not actually doing maybe that much debates, but in America there's the campaigning season, let's say. And there's few candidates that have gone to like podcast and stuff, and the reach is fucking massive.
Wow.
It's like, I think the biggest one was Trump going to Tucker Carlson, if you know who that is.
No.
But I think it got like 300 million views.
Podcast with that guy?
Yeah.
300 million. Wow.
Yeah. That's basically a presidential debate.
Yeah.
And what kind of like... No, like news network, especially here in Finland, like let's say Yle or something. My guess is their viewerships, I have never checked actually, but my guess would just quickly be like mostly like some hundreds of thousands. Most. That's like I would think the real numbers are closer to fucking 100,000 most. I don't know.
Really? That little?
Especially the younger generation. I don't think they watch that much TV, especially like political stuff. In those, I think it can be even in tens of thousands, or like let's say 50,000 or something like that. But political debate gaining 300 million views, and I think the second biggest one was Robert F. Kennedy going to Joe, or even might be even bigger actually, Robert F. Kennedy going to Joe Rogan podcast. And I think that could have easily get like 500 million views or something like that.
Damn. Yeah.
So why would you go to a TV network when you have 10 seconds, or like, well, not 10 seconds, but 30 seconds, 2 minutes to tell what you actually want to do as a candidate. And then they cut to some fucking commercial break or switch the subject. And then there's some other person who's accusing you of something. And then you have to answer for that in like a minute. And that's the whole thing. Why would you go do that instead of you can do like a free conversation with someone for fucking 3 hours?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I think the reason behind that is because it's a public spectacle. So when they're like debating in front of a live audience, or even if it's just televised, I think we want leaders to seem like they got. Have you ever seen the nutsack of like a Saint Bernard or something, or one of those big dogs? They got massive balls, like massive balls, man.
Okay.
And that's what people want to see in the debate, right? You're more likely to choose a candidate that's like ballsy, sticking up for him or herself, and like seems like they have the right answers, whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm swayed by somebody like that. I wouldn't be if another one was like, nah, like didn't know. So that's the benefit, I think, because in the podcast, plus there's more people. In a podcast, actually in a podcast you can have more than. But anyway,
yeah.
It's kind of more of a chat rather than like flexing nuts, you know.
Yeah, sure. There's that.
Oh yeah, it's time.
Let's say, because I would say that actually what came to my mind, that why do you think that is that way, that you would choose the fucking boss, like who's actually putting up a fight, let's say, than the other person? Because I know at least why I would see that actually as a good quality.
Like to not.
Why would you choose the one who is more show off, or like actually like fuck yeah, like I have the right answer more than someone's look.
Well, okay. I mean, that statement's very. My statement was very broad because it depends on the sort of. It depends on the sort of platform that they're running. Like, if they're running on a platform that's like, I don't know, man. It's easier to make examples with extremes. If they're running on a platform that's like far right, I still wouldn't vote for them because it's not aligned to what I believe. So yeah, that's the bit of detail in that statement. But in any case, it gives more of a persuasion. It gives more of like a feel like I'm in control. Although, I'm not saying that the quiet person couldn't be either. It's just a different way. But yeah, that's kind of the perception, generally speaking, is like the loudest person in the room normally gets all the attention.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that. Like,
all right. Well, I thought about, or what came to mind was, wouldn't you maybe want someone who is going to lead your nation, let's say, to put up a fight against leaders of other countries when they're making deals and all these things? Because there are people in other countries or leaders of the world like Putin and fucking Kim Jong-un and all these kind of people. So you don't want your leader to be someone who's a pushover, I would say. But of course, you don't want them to be some extremist asshole. And also, so of course, like you said, you have to take that into consideration. But I would say, like, we don't want our leader, whatever leader it is, small or big. I don't think someone who is a good leader can't be a pushover.
Speaking of leaders, man, there's so when I used to live in Holland, and then shortly after I left, also there's this politician. He's a populist. He's like, anyway, so his name is Geert Wilders. Do you know him?
I have seen some recent Twitter post, but not other than that.
Yeah. So at the time, he was a member of parliament. And so his whole campaign thing was like anti-immigration, anti-Islam. That's it. Or that's what they say that he's running, that's what he's pushing. And because he runs on that platform, he needs to walk around with a bulletproof vest. And he's under 24/7 police protection.
Yeah.
That in itself is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
There is a debate between him and the outgoing prime minister,
Mm-mm.
where I can't remember what the question was. Oh yeah, running like Gerd Wilders was explaining his kind of point of view and saying that, you know, I'm right about you know, immigrants and stuff like that, like, because I have the balls to say it, I get in trouble. That's why I'm the only person here that's wearing a bulletproof vest, and you are not. Wow. Like, so they hated him. They hated him. He went to trial for like defaming what, maybe Islam, I don't know, but he was in trial. Like, wow, what a fucking life, you know.
Yeah.
And now, fucking years later, he might become prime minister of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Crazy.
From what I heard, the reason, or the main reason maybe he actually won now, was that he was running on, or at least now, focusing on the not forcing the farmers give up their lands like they were basically supposed to under the former prime minister. Or it didn't like straight away, or like if you say it that way, it sounds kind of more strict, but that is basically what happened or would have happened, but the way they did it was way more subtle. They were saying that all the farms needed to lower their emissions by, was it 40 or 80% or something like that, or depending on some areas, it was like from, I think, like 20 to 80% or even higher, maybe. So, what that actually meant in practice was that, especially most meat farmers would have had went out of business, and a lot of other farmers would have went out of business, and they would have, because they would have gone out of business. The government was so kind that they offered to buy their lands for a pretty cheap price, in like what it was originally worth, let's say.
Whoa. Fucking
yeah. And Netherlands actually is the world's second largest producer of food in the world. The biggest one is the United States, but it's biggest because it's so big.
But they have lots of greenhouses in Holland.
Yeah, think about how small of a country it is, and it feeds was it at least 2/3 of Europe and whatever. Yeah,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, and they would have taken their lands and farms and whatever. So that was at least one of the reasons I heard a lot of Dutch people screaming in the internet, like, this is really fucked up and this can be like a really big disaster for Europe, and
shit,
the farmers should be able to keep their lands. And I think this Gerd, whatever his name is, but was kind of at least on the side of the farmers on this issue. But I didn't know about the fucking immigrant and all these things that you mentioned. But
yeah, he's famous for that. He made he even self-financed a short documentary. I think it was called Fitna.
Okay.
where he's you should watch it. It's
Mm.
I mean, it's very anti, if I remember right, is like, well, yeah. He's just talking about essentially kind of like a Muslim takeover.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't believe, at least in that sense, that the Muslims will be trying to take over. But I know there are some extremists, again, extremists, not like the everyone who is appalling to or like thinks of themselves as Muslims. But like there are the extremists, because I just actually saw some video of some extremist Hamas person who was saying that we will kind of like come to America at some point and fucking kill everybody and take you and all these things, that we will just enslave America and fucking all these kinds of things. So I think he also mentioned that, I saw some videos of Israeli babies dying and I masturbated to them. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Wow.
So that is the level of course, extreme that. But yeah, that doesn't mean that every Muslim. But he was like, we Muslims will come there and then fucking take over everything.
Fuck.
But that's the extreme one only that says
yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
I don't believe that all the Muslims would want to fucking take over.
No, man. I mean, coming back to earlier in the conversation, it's again like, what makes people so violent?
Mm-mm.
You know, like this person, aside from any religion, because it doesn't really care. It doesn't really matter. It's like, is who you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna interpret whatever you want. Like if you're just wired that way, you're gonna interpret things to be like, yeah, I'm gonna kill someone.
Mm-mm.
And if not, then you're not. It doesn't matter on anything. Yeah, that's interesting. And who's to say that, you know, those people, I mean, people like that are everywhere, man.
Yeah.
It's not I think we are super misled by the fact that, you know, I watch TV and it's like, you know, I feel for those people and for everything that's going on. And then I'm thinking like, wow, that's never going to happen here because I'm not seeing it in front of my own eyes.
Yeah.
But we're so close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a negative turn to the conversation, but fuck, man, these times, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see wars in Europe and all these things.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's easy to ignore and say that it's there and it will never happen here. And I think most Western people, especially, they take it so for granted that how good things are in here and how the whole fucking thing works. And actually, I just reminds me, a co-worker of ours mentioned that she's been in a lot of countries, and Finland is the place where women are respected the most, and like she feels safe being here. And still, I know a lot of local ladies who are like, such a fucking, like, no respect of any woman, and like, it's like, you just are comparing it to some fucking utopia that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like some picture perfect world of where nothing ever bad happens to anyone. So, but that's not life. Life can be really fucking ugly sometimes. And especially like, yeah, if you would be now in Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, or whatever, like in fucking North Korea, Cuba, whatever is the like place, then you would fucking know that, yeah, it's a different world out there, and it can go to shit like pretty fast, and it is possible. But for some reason, we're just like, la 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 la, no see, no hear, no fucking, I don't see
exactly.
anything.
Yeah. Isn't that sad? Like, there's a. Do you know this comedian called Patrice O'Neill?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Or there was. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Man, Mr. Patrice. Fuck. So he has a little section in one of his stand-ups about like, you know, that he's watching the news and he sees all these terrible things happening, and he's like, you know, I could not give a fuck. Like, yeah. And it's sort of that sentiment, you know. It's like he's like, oh, that's so terrible, but like
I know
it's not happening to me, and that's, you know, just saying that out loud feels like the wrong thing to say, but it's true. It's not. It's like,
but it's
it
not.
Just happens.
And I'll tell you why it's not. We all can say that we care about like all the people in the world, and in a way, I think we kind of maybe even do. But you don't actually care about almost anyone else than the people you actually care and love about.
Yeah.
That's the people, if something happens to you, are actually like really upset and fucking hurt that they are hurt and all this kind of stuff. But if you would feel that way because someone would say like, how can you be so cold and not love every person in the world in the same way? Like, fucking try that, and how fucked up you get, how fast you get like hurt and fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't. You just have to learn how to cope with the brutalities of the world, and kind of, even though it can sound mean, but care less sometimes about some things that don't affect you as much. Of course, in a perfect world, we would all help each other always, and everybody would always rescue each other. But in reality, I think every person will rescue themselves kind of first, or their children first before them.
Mm-hmm.
Or anyone else, basically. Like,
yes. Yeah. Agree.
If it comes to like, if shit hits the fan, they just think how I'm gonna fucking survive. They don't give a fuck what's happening in the other side of the world.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a luxury to care about what's happening in the other side of the world.
Yeah.
In a lot of poor countries, they don't have that at all. So.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, the way that you put it.
Yeah. yeah, and it's weird things are happening in the world, but I think one good thing about it is I think it kind of forces us to actually learn and think about how all of this works, because there's so much lunacy going on with all kinds of things. Like, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but like going carbon free like 2030 and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna happen unless you want to cut the electricity off from a lot of fucking people. So that's like, we see these things like we're so compassionate and we want to do this and be good for every people and the environment and this and that. And of course we should take care of the environment, but that's fucking lunacy. Like, that's like what happened, was it a few years ago in Germany, actually, that someone's having a party, but in Germany, that they shut down their nuclear plants because they want it to be more green, even though nuclear energy is pretty fucking green, even though it creates the nuclear waste, but that can be kind of stored in somewhere. And at least a lot of scientists are very, very confident that we would find out what to do about it even later, because it takes or you can store it for, was it 99 years in somewhere?
Yeah, yeah. It's a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that nuclear waste is active for ever, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's also maybe not the best thing, but at least the good bad ratio in that sense, how fucking much energy it produces, it's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah. Well, the one up here, whatever, number 3.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's never getting ready or whatever. It's fucking
like last winter was, I was peeled to I read the Yle English news. And it's actually quite shit. They don't have lots of articles or anything. But the one thing that they always put in there is the status of that power plant.
Yeah.
And last winter, because of the whole energy crisis thing. It was okay, now it's going to be online in about a month. And then next month you read it's now it's online. And then a week later, now it's offline because there was an issue. And you're thinking come on, everyone's waiting for it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that cheaper electricity.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker just would not go. That was such a sad kind of development to read over last winter. It's come on, let's go.
But that's a fucking shit show. I know, my father has even actually worked there at one point, and it was maybe fucking 10 years ago.
Wow.
And even then, it was the project is already 4 years late.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, it's a fucking shit show. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but the point about that also was they shut down their power plants. They wanted to go eco and whatever.
Yeah.
And now they're burning coal because of the energy crisis that happened because of that. And that's fucking way more dirtier than... So they wanted to kind of it sounded good on paper.
Yeah.
And then when it was implemented in the real world, it didn't work. And that's, I think, a lot of what's wrong with the things that people are politicizing for. They don't fucking understand what they're actually doing in practice. Because we have no fucking idea how all of this works. Or at least most people don't have any idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a fucking... Yeah. People are maybe not as smart always as they think they are.
That's a downer.
Yeah.
That's a fucking bummer.
Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot also, but I at least try to think maybe sometimes about things.
Only sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe just when you're put under pressure, when you got enough blood in your head, when someone gives you a choke, you're okay. But otherwise, just a walking zombie. Oh yeah, and what I wanted to say, kind of random. People are an adult or an adult, I don't know which way is correct, is just a bigger baby.
Yeah.
Right? And so you and I were grown-ups, but you as well as I carry traits that we've had since so young. And just our bodies have grown, and we've made a couple extra decisions, but we're fucking babies.
Yeah.
And thinking about that, and then thinking about everything you said, all the fucking, well, I just picture politicians making those deals carbon neutral by 2030, all that bullshit, is a bunch of kids thinking that they know something, but they have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
No idea. Nobody knows. Nothing. We're all running around Okay, without diapers, but maybe maybe we should wear diapers.
Yeah, well, it comes all back in the end.
Yeah.
Adult diapers.
Adult diapers. No, man. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, that's sad. But
that's degrading, man.
Like, yeah. But yeah, that's true. Like, of course, it's interesting how people end up in some places. Like, what's their stories and what decisions they made and how they ended up. Like, either successful, not successful, fucking homeless or something. I don't know. It's all a lineage of decisions that led to that moment, and it's kind of wild that you of course I think you try to make the best of it, and that's what your parents also are, and they were babies sometimes, and once you try to maybe at one point you understand that and you're like, oh yeah, and once you understand that, like you said, that we're just big babies in a way, that that's someone's kid, that's someone's like a brother or sister, something, and they have a kid and they have a kid, like it all goes down. And
like when you think of your parents today, do you sometimes feel like, oh, they're just big babies?
Yeah, well, in a way, yes, of course. And I've noticed and lived long enough to realize that they're also people, just people too. They happen to be my parents, but they're just people too.
Mm-hmm.
So they lose that, because when you're like a little kid, they're like gods in your eyes. Like, whoa, my dad can do anything.
Yeah.
My mom is the smartest one in the world, and all these things. And but at some point you realize they are just people, and everybody that you see are just people. They were babies, like you said.
Yeah.
And with some people it's more evident that they're fucking adult babies, but yeah, sometimes I just see some fucking people and I think of like, how do they live? Like they just barely seem to be hanging on in a way.
Yeah.
And they're like, they don't seem to be capable of doing any kinds of decisions in their life. Like, how do they survive? But they do. And it's not to kind of diss them, but it's just actually like amazing. Like, how do you live? You fucking don't do anything.
What do you mean?
I don't even fucking know. I just lost my point.
Oh yeah.
I just noticed that.
All right. That's 2-1. I think it's happened twice to you, once to me.
Yeah. That's true.
Nice one. Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you turn off that light?
Yeah, sure.
It's
also
like,
taking some water.
Yeah. It's really bright for some reason. Oh, thank you. My eyes were burning this whole time.
Yeah, sorry.
No. You couldn't know. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's way better. Yeah. I need to readjust a second. I need to readjust. Oh, yeah. That's good. Yeah.
But you have liked Finland.
Love-hate thing. I like lots of things about Finland. You know, like, for example, like, I'm not the most overtly extroverted person on the planet, so I feel like amongst my people here, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that's quite nice. Like, where I come from, if you're not like, you know, outgoing and shit like that, then it's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know. So So I guess it's an easier fit here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have to be. I mean, it is nice to be like that, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That makes it comfortable. And then plus everything seems to work, you know.
Yeah.
No bureaucracy and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just quirky being here. Like I said at the beginning, like, how the fuck did I end up here? And now it's winter outside and it's snowed and what?
Yeah, it's totally different from where you came.
Totally different. Yeah.
And actually, like, basically on the other side of the world.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like I've been so many places now that I just wanna. I think we may have been talking about it before when I came the other day. But I just want to like stay somewhere. But I don't know if Finland is the place.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be that like nomad heart in me, which is hard to battle. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Maybe you find some nice lady.
Maybe. We'll
Get
see.
Cozy.
Get cozy. Have like a, was it like a winter girlfriend? They call it. I don't know. There's like a term for that, or
you mean like the same as a summer girlfriend, but as a winter girlfriend?
I mean, like, because it's very typical for like all the babies are born in the summer. You know what I mean? Like, or close to. Yeah. Everybody's fucking in the winter because it's cold. So what are you gonna do? Sauna, eat, and fuck.
Yeah, snuggle up.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, snuggle up.
Yeah,
like that.
It's like, ooh, what's that? Is that the flashlight you brought into bed?
Why is it warm? Why is there no light?
Magic.
Unless you have like a glow in the dark condom.
Yeah.
And then I've never tried one, but it would be hilarious. Yeah. This fucking lightsaber.
Yeah.
Now you see it, now you don't. Weird.
Yeah.
No. I lost my train of thought now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like it works as a disco ball when you.
Why not?
Why not?
You gotta try it.
Yeah, sure. On the list of things to do.
Yeah, things to do before you turn 30. When are you turning 30?
February.
Wow. Are you gonna throw a party or something? What's going on?
Maybe there will be something. I might want to do some stuff.
It's 30, man. You have to do something.
Yeah. Something should be in the works. Or yeah. Definitely.
Nice. Fuck yeah. February.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm getting old. Like, for some reason, maybe at some point though, that 30 will feel way different. But yeah, at least at the moment, it feels like without regarding some things, I basically feel kind of the same as I would like 24, 26. I don't know. But only thing my knees feel worse, and I feel like I actually need my 7 to 8 hours of sleep at least, way like more consistently. But basically, other than that, nothing else. Well, that's sometimes I'm thinking about of course this happens way more if you compete actually and do or train stupidly. But I feel like last week for some reason was not the best. Some days where I feel like it's weird because I don't feel anything basically when I exercise, but other than that, like sometimes I feel like my knees feel like they would fucking explode any moment, basically.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes it feels just like bad. I think because I have at least some sort of tears in both meniscus and maybe some other sort of damage, and I don't even know what the fuck is going on. But yeah, it's yeah. But they sometimes feel super great, and it doesn't seem to limit anything in that sense. But
Wait, so are you living with like some sort of chronic pain on your knees?
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, for real? Like you feel it right now?
Well, yeah, now a little bit actually, yeah, because this other knee has been acting up a little bit today.
Oh.
But most times maybe no, and usually, of course, movement makes it at least a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's just like fucking aches and pains.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's sorry to hear that. That must be that's gotta suck.
Yeah, in a way, sure, but what the fuck you gonna do in a way with that? Because I'm doing, of course, all kinds of things and being really careful with doing the stuff the correct way and having a good control and all these things. But yeah, it's still like, of course, I think I should go more back to the kind of stuff that I did at one point, more specifically, like especially like pulling the sled and stuff like that. But yeah, it's everyday life. It doesn't matter. I still fucking jump higher than most people and whatever. So
yeah. Yeah. I guess either use them or lose them, you know?
Yeah.
Use them until the wheels fall off.
Yeah. And of course, especially after I would start competing at some point, then yeah, just take care of my body way better, because sometimes you just have to kind of maybe push more when there's a competition coming. You don't have time to fucking think about your current issues, let's say, because you have to try to get ready no matter what, and do it as smartly and well as possible. But yeah, it's just part of the gig in a way, because there is definitely a difference in between competitive sports and health sports. Yeah, that's a different thing, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that for sure. Yeah.
do you have any goals in your current trainings and whatever? I see you sometimes doing all these crazy kind of things with the boys, with the bambinos, the hell days and whatever, and all these things. But do you have any sort of goals at the moment with that thing?
To be honest, my goal has always been to maintain. So when I started working out like 9 or 10 years ago, I didn't know anything. I hired a personal trainer, and I didn't care what the cost was, and I was with that guy for like 9 months, 3 times a week, religiously, man. And he was like a blessing in disguise, because we had our first intro together, and he took me to the gym floor, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna see what you're capable of doing. So he's like, do this 10 times, do this 5 times. There was like no general guideline. He was just like testing me randomly. And then at the end of it, he's like, how do you feel about training like parkour style like that? And I'm like, cool, let's do it. So he taught me a whole bunch of shit, like body weight stuff. I don't think we really did like, I don't remember any machine sessions. It was all like free weights, hanging on the bars, push-ups, pull-ups, rings, all this shit. And I lost the plot completely.
your
Wait, what did you
goals and whatever, and then you started with the personal trainer and
right. So
maintenance.
Yeah. So he got me to a certain level, and I've just been wanting to maintain that level. That's why I was telling the backstory.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I don't have any super particular goals. Maybe like a muscle up or stuff like that, but like a general thing for me is just like maintain. That's why I love doing like full body workouts, mostly, if not all the time, and I just vary it up, man. Like just flow. I just walk into the gym and I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, and then I figure out. I like mix and match from the library I have in my head, and let's go.
Yeah. Nice. And you have been seem to be able to maintain everything and maybe get some actual improvements also.
Yeah, I've made a couple gains. I feel like particularly nowadays my shoulders are stronger. There was a point when I was having lots of shoulder issues, like pain and things like that, and I managed to work some of those out on my own, and then some other ones here through people.
Yeah. With Anton,
yeah. So yeah, there's been some improvements. Yeah, I feel. But I was wondering actually the other day, like how long can you possibly sustain a lifestyle like that? You know?
Well,
or like a lifestyle like what we have now.
Yeah, well, with some help of TRT and whatever, so sure. But yeah, I've been thinking something along those lines a little bit also lately, but it's mainly also because I have a client who's 76 years old, and he's squatting like 70 kilos for 5 reps.
Fuck.
Deadlifting 105 kilos for 5 reps, and
fucking hell,
all these kinds of things. Benching at least like around 50 kilos like for 5 reps, and all these kinds of work. And doing banded pull-ups like 12 with the green one and everything. So, and with good form, everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, yeah. Like, and when we started, like, of course he has been with me like 2 years, but when we started, it was really hard for him to even stand in like a split squat or something, like not actually even do the movement, but just kind of
stand in a split position.
Yeah. He was like fucking falling over and everything.
Wow.
So just with that 2 years of training background now, he's like in a pretty fucking good shape.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, and like imagine if you just start a little bit earlier and just keep going.
Yeah.
I think you can maintain a really good kind of quality of life for quite long.
Yes.
But yeah, of course, at some point, Father Time in a way can do its dues, but like I'm at least trying to delay that motherfucker as long as possible. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Again, do it till the wheels fall off. Like.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah. How many times a week do you train usually?
Between 3 and 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try. Lately, it's been 4 with the addition of Hell Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's been quite nice actually to have the 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds so kind of chill.
How about you?
For me,
yeah,
I'm a madman. I'm a fucking lunatic.
Oh, that's why you said it's so chill. Like,
yeah,
I'm in there 7 days a week.
Yeah, but like, I think, where's my fucking, or I can use this as a calculator also.
It is a computer after all. You should be able to.
So, there's 6:31. It's 37 days left, so 365 minus 37 is 328, so times something like that. I think I have done, because I lost count, but I think I have done for this week or this year 380 workouts. So that's does 8 workouts a week in general.
8 workouts a week.
Yeah.
No wonder you're walking around so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah, that's like an average. So
fucking dial it back, man. Give yourself some rest.
I don't know how. That's my problem.
You don't know how? It's easy. Give me your calendar. I'll just erase one or two. That's it. You just don't go.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're all important, but come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't do that to your body. No wonder your knees hurt.
Yeah, well, that's true. Because it's jiu-jitsu usually like at least 4 to 5 times a week. Then gym 2 to 3 times a week, and at least like trying to do some 1 or 2 cardios, or sometimes even 3 cardios maybe, and then sometimes do the intervals and whatever. And yeah.
Nah, man, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, and sometimes I know I've done way too much, but yeah, at the moment, and usually I feel like I can do it, and it's going actually quite well and everything. But then again, of course, sometimes I feel I need some rest, but I'm getting better at it, because I used to, when I was like fucking 23 or something like that, I used to average on like 10 to 14 workouts a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a time to, maybe I was pushing, let's say, a little bit too hard. But yeah, because
just a little bit.
Because then your body could take it. You're just like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, but then you're a Superman, but still, it doesn't mean that it doesn't impact you in the long run.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah. That's interesting that we don't see that on the spot.
Yeah.
You're just thinking like, I feel fine, let's go.
Yeah.
And then you pay for that years down the line.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Your body has a smart way of telling you to fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you did this to me? Fuck you. Here you go. Bam. Like, no explanation. You're like, oh, why only today? Whatever it is, it's hurting.
Yeah.
No. Your body silently telling you, look, motherfucker. 20 years ago.
You did this. Yeah. You did this to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, luckily, I don't have any of that yet. I feel fine. Nothing really affected me for now.
Yeah, you haven't had no freak accidents or anything.
No. Luckily, I haven't had any like injuries in the whole time. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, maybe like, all right, maybe my shoulder feels funky or whatever, but I haven't like broken anything or like seriously injured myself. Luckily, so far.
Yeah, I think I haven't like really, really badly broken anything, but yeah, I think like I said, there's in both of my knees, I think the other one is worse, but in both of my knees, I maybe think the other one has a little bit bigger tear or some even new tears, or I don't know. But then the other one, I think because it was, imagine this happening. That was that was a dark time in a way. So I injured my knee originally. I think it was in practice, actually, not even in competition. Yeah. And yeah, it got fucked up, and it was bad for 6 to 9 months, let's say.
Ooh, God damn.
So, and basically, right as I felt it was actually starting to feel good, and I was planning to go to the next competition, 2 weeks before the competition, I do basically exactly the same on my right other knee. And that's bad, like maybe 6 to 7 months, because I maybe knew a little bit better how to actually rehab it. And then I think I might have maybe able to go to one competition after that, but then again on the next one or something like that. I get to the competition actually, and on the first match, when I'm about to go for a submission, kind of to choke the other person, he weirdly defends it and then falls down on my knee, and then it goes kind of out. But I managed to still actually win that fight. Oof. And I win by submission, and then I go to the next match because I was like, I feel a little bad on my knee, but it's yeah, okay,
yeah, let's it out.
Yeah, let's go. We're here. And then in that match on the same leg, it's not my knee this time, but I think the other guy kind of pops my ankle. But it doesn't break or anything, but just a little, like some
bone,
some ligament damage at least.
Yeah.
And then I managed to get out of that, and then I actually managed to choke him out also.
Wow.
But then the next match, I'm just basically, I remember I was so fucking tired and feeling kind of fucked up that I was like, oh, fuck. I'm so out of energy that I barely can fucking move. But then I end up losing on that, and basically got then bronze on that tournament. But yeah, going then back home again, and it was like injury again, and I knew that, okay, it's because I actually went then to take MRI on the knee and everything. So
okay,
it was like, yeah, it's there's some tears and ligament damage and this and that, and yeah, I think we'll be like fucking 6 months at least again. And I'm like, fuck, like the last something 20 months or whatever being injured most of the time, and like being like, wow, fuck.
And that's no fun, probably.
No.
Like sitting on the sidelines, and all you want to do is just, get out.
Yeah.
And compete.
Yeah. And just the fucking, because I've always been a person that kind of feels that I need to move or I go insane, or just I don't feel good.
Yeah. And
that's like, you have to just be aware and feel fucking bad. And I think there is also some even studies about that. I'm not saying that's any kind of, all right, I haven't said any excuses in that sense, but I think there is some sort of hormones or chemicals or whatever that gets released when you get like badly injured that is kind of the same as in depression. So you just feel in your head also like fucking, and it's just, and do that for fucking 18 months or whatever, and it's like, and almost in a row. And that's like, yeah, that was like I said, it was kind of a dark time.
So you essentially, what you're saying is that you had like post-nut depression.
Yeah, exactly.
For 18 months.
Yeah.
You just blew a couple loads and you were just depressed.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? You
couldn't take it no more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, those are sometimes I have to say, even though I have been doing it for like 12 years or something, and there has been moments like, why the fuck am I even doing this? Like,
wait, are you talking about martial arts
or jiu-jitsu? Yeah. Like, why the fuck am I even doing this? Like,
yeah,
it's feeling all fucked up, can't walk, can't do this. So like,
yeah,
shit. But then you're just like, well, fucking, we tough it out and find a way around it. You can do something, okay? We're starting to work on this. Can you do this now? Okay. And then you work like a fucking madman on it every day, and then you got a fucking working leg, and then you go train. And
fuck it up all over again.
That can happen, yes, but you kind of have to be mindful about it, and I've learned to be a little bit more mindful about it.
Fair.
But yeah.
Wow.
Fuck.
Man. My brother has apparently like chronic back pain.
Yeah.
In a mild way, I think. And he's tried to do some things about it, like go to, I think he may have already done, like he went to a chiropractor and like a massage, and he recently got some x-rays and stuff, and like he's just living with this pain, and it's mild, and he's like, yeah, some days it's better, some days it's worse, but it's constantly kind of there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I kind of, that sucks, man. I feel like some of the stuff, I mean, I don't know for sure, but maybe some of the stuff that we learn at PU, it could really help him.
Yeah.
Because he's a drummer, so he's sitting all the time.
Yeah.
So.
I think definitely. And actually, I got a feedback from a client that I should kind of tell to maybe the wins and whatever channels, or it wasn't basically actually my client, but it was told to my client that someone who had been there for only like 2 months said that it's weird, or she's wondering how in 2 months she got more results than any other physiotherapist that she had been put on by doctors and whatever, and like this one personal trainer or coach like just fucking fixed me way faster and got more results than fucking from anywhere else. And I totally feel like that, and or I can testify to that myself. And yeah, I have learned a lot. I of course in a way owe my skills for PU, so not of course taking anything for granted, and very grateful for that actually. And when you mentioned like Anton earlier and working on your shoulders and whatever, yeah, he knows his shit. Like, and of course Alexi is also very, very good with the movement stuff, and they both are kind of, because they feel like, or I feel they say that they have differing opinions on mobility. In a way they do, but in a way they actually don't. I think they're kind of talking about the same things, but a little bit different angle.
Okay.
So at least for me, I can see both sides, and I can see that how they both are trying to work things out. And it's really interesting, and I feel that a lot of people don't know about this stuff. Like, it's actually really high level, and I'm really glad that I managed to find my way in there and just fucking learn all this shit. Yeah.
I need to do a little bit more learning on that as well, because I feel like I really lack on that. I feel like it's interesting. It's a lot of information. At the moment, my goal is to finish reading The Supple Leopard.
Yeah.
But it's taking me longer than I thought, so I probably won't manage to read it by the end of the year, which was the goal. But at least I started. And a lot of the stuff, it's funny because a lot of the stuff I already kind of, it's evident that at PU we've taken up lots of things from there.
Yeah,
so
it
to
is.
see them in the book, it's funny.
Yeah. Have you got your mobility WOD?
No.
Yeah, well, that's the course of Kelly Starrett, who is the author of The Supple Leopard, and that's how the whole thing, it's based on that, and we all at least at one point got the course for that, and so yeah. So yeah,
it's great. What the one thing I don't? Well, okay. I mean, he's great. I was just gonna say, like, the one thing I don't like, the whole CrossFit thing, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's such a like Americanized version of they're like, people like to work out, people like to compete. People like to work out, people like to compete. How? Oh, okay, yeah. Let's make something that people were doing anyway into our own sport. Why?
Well,
like, gymnastics is a sport, and CrossFit is not a sport. It's not a sport.
Yeah. Well, CrossFit, I can see some benefits, of course, of it. I have never actually tried it, so I can't talk that much about it.
You have. It hasn't been called CrossFit.
Well,
but you
yeah.
have.
Well, yeah. In a way, yes, sure, I have, and I have. Like I was just about to say, I have tried at least similar kind of workouts.
Yeah.
So I know that what it is. So, or in that sense, I know what it is. But yeah, I can see that it should be, in a way, at least a good thing for conditioning. One thing that I'm a little bit skeptical about sometimes is how good is that for you in that sense, that some of the things, because you're maybe pushing so hard that your form gets like really shitty. Of course, there is the argument that you should kind of practice sometimes with kind of shitty form, maybe not the max loads, but like some loads, because then your body will adapt to those. But then there's the possibility that in a way you maybe shouldn't put yourself in bad situations under load, because then you're making the problems you have bigger, maybe especially mobility wise, because you're loading the dysfunction. So I'm not sure exactly what is the right way, but I just feel people, of course, react to different things in different ways. But those are the things that I feel that CrossFit maybe can be like, yeah, sure, I think I see it can be good, but also I just feel like with everything, you kind of have to be a little bit just careful with it, maybe.
Yeah. Like, I think the idea in itself is smart. Like, they just picked up on something that was already starting to become very trendy, and then managed to create what's his name? Greg Glassman, something like that. And he managed to create this whole community and all this stuff. But, and I agree with you, I think that's the biggest gripe that I have is not like necessarily those butterfly pull-ups, which aren't really pull-ups.
Yeah.
And like swinging on the bars and stuff, because that stuff like comes from gymnastics. So, okay, that's cool. But my biggest gripe is putting people under any load and having them do workouts for time, meaning as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Having them do any exercise is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Let alone like having to do a circuit, like box jumps and then fucking
snatch it,
whatever. Yeah. You know, like how is that a good idea at all? The funniest thing is that you can tell CrossFitters If you've ever had if you've ever done a group class or some sort of class environment, and you've gone like, all right, we're gonna do a warm up, and like let's take it easy to warm up. The CrossFitter will always do it as fast as they can.
Yeah.
With shit shape.
Yeah.
Just because they're drilled into that.
Yeah.
And that pisses me right off. Because they don't know that they're doing it poorly. Maybe the coaches at those places don't say it, but because everyone's doing it fast.
Yeah.
You know, but
that
drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, that again, okay, actually, when I start to think about it more, yes, of course, when just fucking running with a really shitty technique, or if your foot is all fucked up, or your knees are caved in, or whatever, and your hip mobility is total shit, then even just running and having the fucking impact like again and again, it will fuck your feet up like pretty fast.
Yeah.
So imagine doing stuff, again, like you said, it's doing stuff under a load as fast as you can and as many as you can.
Yeah.
So that is, in a way, sounds at least like a recipe for disaster. So yeah, but I think, of course, it's good to push yourself and try to find some way to push yourself. But yeah.
But there's ways, man.
But ways like that are maybe a little bit safer. But sure, I'm not saying that CrossFitters are dumb or pussies or whatever. But like,
no,
it's actually a tough thing that they do. But yeah, these are the things that I feel that can be a little bit thought out better, maybe. I don't know. That's my feeling of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it certainly is tough.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly is tough. But they could be done better, maybe. Yeah, but it's exciting and people like it, and it's still like quite trendy.
Yeah, and that's actually brings to mind like a thing that I've been thinking about lately a lot. Like, I think if that gets people moving, then it's a good thing. Like, whatever gets someone actually moving and doing something is a good thing, and a good program, even, let's say.
Yeah. Because
you could know all the fucking wizardry on anything, like this is how you do this accumulation and this is how you do this, but if the other person doesn't do jack shit, then what is it worth? But yeah, of course, that works as soon as you know how to make them do it. So the best program is something that actually can get the people moving and make them work, because that is at least the one issue that sometimes I have run into myself. That is you fucking try to help all the people and make them programs, fucking help with their habits, make them eat better, do this, do that. But then they just, even though they're paying for the service, they don't do anything, basically. They don't change anything, they don't do anything. And
it's silly.
Yeah, and it feels fucking crazy, but in those situations, it doesn't matter how much you kind of know. You just have to find something that actually gets them doing something. So that's the actual. I remember even hearing this said when I came in there for the first time, that what separates a good coach from a great coach is the way they can communicate. So
very true.
So that's very actually true. A really fucking important thing, that you know how to communicate with your clients about and make them actually do something. And
like trying to connect with people. That's very important, and that transcends like the gym environment, I think. like if you know how to communicate at the gym, then that's great. But even better if you can also with friends and family and partners or
definitely
special people in your life. Yeah, that's a massive skill, man, to have. Yeah,
definitely. I think the more you can communicate to the world, the easier the world is to help you and for you to help them. And like always, you can be way more precise with actually that you understand what people mean and what you mean, and it just makes everything easier and better, and everything is way healthier in that sense also, because that also reminds of kind of funny that I go back to it so many times, but like, yes, one of the best things in my relationship at the moment, I would say that our communication is so good. It's open, honest, and we can talk about anything and talk about any fucking subject and something like, we'll think about it in this way, and it's like, okay, and we can see it in this way, and it's just, if there is something you feel it doesn't, like, if something makes you feel in some way, it's better to say it out loud than to kind of like deny it and then let it explode in the face of the other person later. So it's like better to talk about it like when you feel it, and maybe reasons why you feel it, and is it legitimate or whatever, and or whatever, how is the conversation going, but like just just talk about everything and fucking be honest and connect. So it's definitely a skill and a really good one.
Yeah, connecting and being honest, I think it's like key.
Yeah,
you have to do those. Honesty in particular, for me, that's a big thing.
Same.
You have to be honest, even though it hurts, even though it may take a little bit of time to get to that honesty. But share it when you're able to, as soon as possible. That's a must.
It is, and that's if I wouldn't say I judge people in that sense by their like thoughts about some things as much. Like, of course, I can think different ways in some issues, let's say, and we can still be friends. But one thing that I kind of, when I actually think about it, is one thing that I judge people on is are they honest? If they're not honest, you can't trust them. You can't trust anything that they say. So what do you actually do with a relationship like that? What would you benefit from it if you always have to doubt even the smallest of things? There's no relationship. So like you said, I think the honesty is like in the fucking bottom of everything. That if that's not there, it's impossible to build a good relationship.
So it's good that you have that. That's a sign of, like, that's one of the many pillars of a good relationship. So if you're finding those pillars, then you're building a house, man. A strong foundation. That's true. Just make sure not to build a basement in your house and lock some poor girl in there with no food or water. And
well, that would be a shame.
Go down and like she's locked up there, and you have like a second family there. You got her pregnant, and she lives like chained to a bed.
That she doesn't know. No, but it's fucking crazy. Some people actually do that, and there's some people in my past that I just remembered even, or heard the stories again, that one of the people in like that I knew from my past, a really good friend of my brother's actually, and his father like used to have like few families and just travel from time to time, like for work and to see the other families and whatever. So
no way.
Yeah, so that is actually a reality with some people. But,
oh shit!
so that's fucking crazy, but
God damn!
yeah.
What does it take to live a life like that? Like,
I don't know, but it sounds like a pain in the ass and like so much like headache.
Yeah, how would you? I mean, when you're with one family, then I mean, if you're a decent human being, then you're feeling guilty because you're not with the other.
Yeah.
So you're missing all the time. You're missing somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
Oof,
Well,
that's tough.
so people can be wild.
Yeah, but people are wild, man.
People
Imagine.
are wild, yeah.
I think we are the only species that fucks the other in the ass. Could that be right?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think some monkeys do it maybe. Or I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Or at least there is some like homosexuality in the nature. So I think they will be fucking each other in the butt.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if like with the female of the species. Maybe no.
I don't know.
Could be true.
I don't know.
But it's dirty old fun.
Why the fuck did I say that? Oh yeah, well, because we're weird creatures, man.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are weird creatures.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we're also really cool.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, we're like ants in an ant nest.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie, Ants?
Do you mean the cartoon?
It's an animated movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. There's Bugs Life and then there's Ants. And I think
Yeah.
I've seen both. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a ingenious way to picture our society.
Yeah.
Because it's almost exactly like that. But presented in a cartoon, so you're like, oh, how cute, how funny. But
Yeah.
someone's telling you a real fucking message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the case with a lot of, especially like kids' movies.
Yeah.
Well, and other big movies also. And that's the power of good storytelling, I think.
Yeah.
You can actually fucking tell some big messages and influence people with those. Like, something like I think everyone has seen, like Lion King or Pinocchio, but especially I remember Lion King way better because I haven't seen Pinocchio in such a long time. But it's filled with societal things basically, and things about the individual and growth and pain and fucking even it goes kind of totalitarian in a way at one point and whatever, and it's like it's a real story of humans also, even though it's portrayed as a cute animated thing as with lions and other animals. But yeah,
you just changed my whole perception on the Lion King. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
I just thought about it as, the story of the lions.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there's some other stuff in there, but not. I didn't think about it as.
Yeah.
As deep. Yeah.
Yeah, like he goes out of the kingdom, or he's banished there, and he's this kind of careless, there's no worries, man attitude with Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah.
And then he had the Nala, which was the girl he had kind of like the crush on, comes back and says, you should be there out her helping out everyone, and it's horrible there. You're just here leaving the like, ooh, man. And I think that kind of wakes him up and makes him try to grow up again a little bit and go out there and just fucking take control. And that is what defeats the tyranny. And
you saw this quite recently, didn't you?
No.
Yeah, well, then you know the story really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a same thing, and like Harry Potter and whatever, it's a fucking thing about how an individual takes on this big adventure and whatever and develops, and then there's all other kind of symbolism there with like facing the fucking dragon in the sewers and yeah, well, it's a big ass snake, poisonous snake.
Oh, right.
That into its lair you need to go to face it, and that's the way to defeat it, because if you let it come to you, it will kind of mess you up, and that's if you wait with your fucking problems. And
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of
Harry
Potter and
yeah.
And what's the other one?
Game of Thrones? No?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings, yeah. Well,
yeah, like I mean, I think they're great stories, don't get me wrong. They're just too fantastic in the sense that it's very like fiction.
Well, they're almost like their own version of a Bible in a way.
Yeah. It's too much for me. It's too much. I like things that are more real. You know, like that's what attracts me. It's like something that's really real that you can experience and see, and like when that it might shock you, like, wow, that actually happens. Yeah, like I learned from somebody that this person has a sister, and that sister, she had like because of complications at the hospital, essentially the baby died in her stomach and they had to take it out.
Yeah.
And they actually kept the dead baby in a freezer.
Oh shit.
So that the parents could see the baby when they wanted for like just a couple of days. So like they preserved the baby somehow. Like that, I didn't know that it was a thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that there's plenty of those things happening. It's not the first dead baby that was delivered.
Yeah.
And that's shocking to know. Like, that actually happens, man, on a daily, worldwide.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's true. That's true.
That's insane.
It is. It is.
That's such a, like, and particularly, like, for the mother of that kid, like, that thing was alive in you, but because of whatever reason, it's now out in the world, but it's not living. The mind fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Can't imagine how horrible that is.
Yeah.
And it's because I think I feel the mother and the child are starting to form some sort of a bond, even though the child is not yet born. Because they're connected in fucking internally.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's and thing like that, especially if it happens on the very end, even though it would happen earlier, but especially if it would be on the very end, it's like 9 months and just fucking nothing, and just and it's of course horrible for the both of the parents, but like oof.
Yeah.
And again, that's like we talked about earlier, thinking about that happens every day, and on the scale that it happens every day around the world, I think it's kind of massive, because just there's so many people here, but you can't care about it as much as you would if it would be someone you would love for. But that's just a fact, because just thinking about that made me feel like shit and kind of like sad.
Yeah.
And then but in a way, of course, I don't know these people. Of course, I feel bad for these people, but just fuck, you can't care about everybody as much like you would care for some other people, and I don't think that's wrong at all. So
Yeah.
Just to return to that point.
Stand by my point. Yeah. Maybe let's change the subject to something more cheerful.
Yeah, of course.
Have you been to India?
No.
Oh, is that a place that you'd like to visit?
Sure, maybe someday, of course, but yeah, it's not on the high, like really high on my list, let's say. But sure, it will be interesting.
Man, talking about cultures and learning things and all that. It's such a crazy place, man. It's such a crazy place. Chaos and order live together. Everything's upside down. Like it's crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Such a crazy place.
What did you experience there?
I went to the wedding of a friend of my of my girlfriend at that time. And we saw like a full-blown Indian wedding in India. Even the groom came in like to pick up the bride, and I don't know what animal he was sitting on top of. I don't remember. Crazy. We saw elephants there, like being used. They use elephants like for transport or for like to do things.
Yeah.
And they had them like chained. There were some elephants chained, and they had like their trunk here painted.
Yeah.
And I remember we got off. We were like touring. I can't remember which city. Anyway, yeah, on a like tuk-tuk or something. And then the guy's like, "You guys want to see elephants?" We're like, "Yeah." So we stop, and he takes us to his backyard. A fucking backyard, man, with 2 elephants. Just hanging out with 2 elephants in a backyard.
Shit.
Tied. And we touch them, and their skin is like super thick, man, and their hairs are like coarse and like thick. Weird. And like the elephant looks sad. They're very expressive with the eyes. Like, it looks sad. And my girlfriend back then, she just couldn't stop crying. She's like, "Why did you bring us here? This is awful." It's like, yeah, it is awful. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it's a wild place. It really is. Yeah. In a good way. Like.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
What's in your top list?
No, I would want to go, like I said, somewhere Southern America.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Asia, like Thailand and other places, like some fucking nice tropical islands. I don't know what are I can't remember the name of the place, but yeah, some nice somewhere nice, and well, all over the world, but those are kind of things that I would maybe want to visit, at least for some sort of a holiday. Africa for sure, so why not? And yeah, I should go also to the United States again. Maybe Texas this time. There's a lot of things popping there, like especially like combat sports wise, and then there's like some nice live events like comedy and music and everything, like a lot of those things. And yeah, could be fun. And I hear the food is good, so
yeah,
I like me some ribs.
Yeah, Texas would be cool. I have a friend who lives there in southern Texas. Friend from high school.
All right.
Yeah. Would be great to go visit him too. Yeah, I also feel that there's a lot of stuff coming, or at least at some point, there was a lot of stuff coming out of Texas, comedy, music, things like that. Yeah,
definitely. And that also made me think like you are also a person that I feel is in that way similar situation that I am. That I feel like I have friends gone all over the world from all kind of nationalities.
Yeah.
So, why do you think that is in a way? Because in some ways, the chances of that, well, it's not that small, but in a way, it's small.
Yeah.
To get so many good friends all around the world, and why won't other people have the same thing? Why do you think that is?
I think it's partly the environment that you grow up in. So now I think in lots of places, in lots of societies, you'll have foreigners anyway. So it very much depends, I think, on how you're growing up and who you happen to come across with. The bigger the city that you're in, I think the more likely you are to have friends from all over the place.
Yeah.
If you come from the countryside, it's less likely.
Yeah.
But I think that's one big reason. We're such a global network now. Like even in a small place like Helsinki, there's lots of people from everywhere, and
that's true.
Fairly easy to meet.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not sure for those. I think those would be my arguments. Like, if you don't have that, maybe you lived in like a very small town. But if you haven't, then likely that. Also, traveling, in my case, made a difference, as well as, again, the environment that I was put into, because not only was I moving, but the families of the friends that I made also moved. So, yeah,
because I'm just thinking, because I know people that I know people in fucking Spain, I know people in Germany, I know people in fucking Denmark, Sweden. Well, like, I'm not sure where don't remember where all the other people, of course, came from, but or are living at the moment. But yeah, then of course even at our work, like Chile, Italy, Portugal, France, Venezuela.
Yeah, she's from Venezuela.
Yeah, and of course Irish, Dutch.
Who's Dutch? Oh yeah,
Mathis.
Yeah.
And of course Australian. Yeah, of course. And is there someone else still?
What was Palestinian?
Or Iranian? Iran, I think Iran.
He's Iranian?
Iran or Palestine. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if we got it wrong. But yeah, that's already 9, and of course Finnish, then 10.
Yeah.
But
wow, 10 nationalities in that small space there.
11 Russian.
Yeah.
In a way, could you say Swedish? Maybe. Kinda. No, they are all Finnish. Finland svensk.
If they're born here, they're Finnish.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah. Well, at least 11.
Wow. There you go. That sums it all up. How did all those people end up in that basement?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it was or just to answer it, or try to answer it quickly, I think it's a passion for similar subjects. So passion, or trying to be better and actually people who work on the things that they do, and yeah, it's a fucking nice place to be, I have to admit. So
it's a melting pot. Yeah,
it is a melting pot of all kinds of things. So
one client of mine today said something really funny. I don't know if it's gonna, maybe it's like a sort of you had to be there thing, but it's like we were doing some lat pull downs, and I told him like, you should, so palms facing you, and you're gonna pull, and he's like, do you know an easy way to remember supinated from pronated? And I'm like, nah. He's like, are you religious? I'm like, not really. He's like, well, God supinates, no, Jesus supinates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. Oh God, Jesus supinates. Yeah. You can just see it, man. As soon as he did that, I saw like this halo over his head.
Yeah, like, I got it.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's helpful. Or like, I just, got it. Or just, at least with the foot, I know pronation is kind of like to the inside. Supination is kind of, to the outside, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting little bit.
Yeah.
How long have we been talking for?
Yeah, I was just about to say that we can start to end this up. How long do you think we have been going?
4 hours.
3.5 almost.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder who's ever going to listen to this, man. It's a long conversation.
Yeah, well, maybe some people, maybe some don't. Who cares?
Yeah.
I feel like we had some good times.
Yeah.
So that's what's important. And I do like, maybe some network would never fucking let me do this. I wouldn't say they would dare to like, yeah, sure, record for 3 hours and whatever. Yeah. What are you gonna talk about? Kind of about everything and nothing. And so but this is the beauty of these, and I really enjoy these actually. So, and this was a pleasure.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, nice. And let's get that fucking Bambino here also sometimes, and do a group one.
Oh shit, that's gonna be interesting.
A threesome.
Oh damn. Yeah. Let's do that soon.
Yeah. All right, but thanks for being here. This was nice. And any final words you wanna say to the world?
To suck my
suck on these nuts.
You read my mind. No, man. No words. Okay. Be yourself and live happy. No, live joyfully. Happiness is not real, but joy is.
Yeah, and be honest.
And be honest.
That's the foundation. And without a foundation, you can't build shit.
Exactly. Yeah. You need that solid base.
Yeah. And hopefully your shit is also solid, but whatever.
It is, if you must know.
But all right. I think that was clearly a sign that we have enough. But thank you, whoever might have listened, and thanks, Allan. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Motherfuckers!